I'm Onyx and I'm gonna be making some Animal Crossing themed pins and badges. So in my last video, I sewed an Eat-A bag, which is also Animal Crossing themed, and what's in Eat-A bag with no pins or badges, so we have to make some, starting with the badges. Now I'm gonna be making these completely by myself, but if you want to know some ways on how you can customize badges that you already have, I recommend this video by Delightful. I started by kneading and rolling out some scrap clay, which are just leftovers from other projects. Since the color of the clay doesn't really matter, might as well use it. Then I got my stencils and used them to cut out the pieces. The heart is for a badge of my favorite villager, Marcy, which I'll turn into a rosette later. And the shield shape will be Flick and CJ's shared emblem. After baking both of them, I applied a layer of white as a base. For the heart-shaped badge, I printed out 3 versions of the design and cut out the one that I liked the most. I would have used Mod Podge for this part, but I didn't have any, so I mixed equal parts glue and paint varnish instead. I applied it to the back and stuck it onto the badge, making sure to wrap the paper around the edges and brushed on a coat of my mixture on top as well. For the emblem, CJ's version is yellow and Flick's is purple, so I decided to combine them with a purple to yellow ombre. And then I painted on the crossed net and fishing rod along with the border and sides. Then I coated both of them with resin and cured them under a UV lamp. I added a little glitter to the heart-shaped one as well. Now to turn the heart into a rosette, starting with the bow. So I cut the first piece of ribbon and sealed both ends with a lighter. Then I got 2 pieces of lace, the same length as the ribbon. I can't seal the lace with the lighter because it's cotton and it would just start to burn, so I'm using clear nail polish instead. Then I used some hot glue to attach the lace to the ribbon. There's probably a better glue for this, but since it's gonna be behind a clear window, I'm not too worried about how durable it is. I glued the ends together and used some thread to pinch it in the middle. Then folded a small piece of ribbon twice and glued it in the middle over the thread. For the 2 ends, I cut 2 pieces, cut a triangle out on one end, and glued lace only on the outer sides. I used thread to pinch them at the top again and glued them on to the back. And that's the bow done. Now for the ruffles around the badge, I got a very long piece of ribbon and folded it into box pleats. It's kind of hard to explain how to do it, so here's a diagram. Now with all that ready, we can start putting it together. First, I sanded the back a bit to give the glue some texture to stick to, and started by gluing the lace, then the ribbon, and then the bow. Then for both badges, I used the stencils to cut out a piece of felt for each badge. Then I cut 2 slits that I put a safety pin through. And finally glued them on with hot glue and a little bit of super glue for good measure. And that's the badges done. Now for the pins. I used polymer clay for all of them, starting with my favorite flowers. Pink tulip, pink and white hyacinths, white lilies, and my real life favorite flower, lily of the valley, which I do have in game. Then I did some critters, aka bugs, fish, and deep sea creatures. So for bugs, I made a atlas moth, ladybug, Hercules beetle, and a pill bug, which I have a whole room dedicated to in my house. For the fish, I made a ribbon eel, ocean sunfish, mahi-mahi, sea butterfly, betta, frog, and snapping turtle. Yeah, frogs and turtles are considered fish, it's weird. And for the deep sea creatures, I made a umbrella octopus, vampire squid, moon jellyfish, and a horseshoe crab. And that's all the critters. But wait, there's more. Last but not least, I made a few gyroids. So I made a cute variation clatteroid, cute variation talkoid, and a pink variation squeakoid. Now before we can start turning these into pins, I need to paint details on some of these, not all of them. Also, don't mind my head popping in from time to time. With pieces this small, I gotta lean in close to see what I'm doing. Now that they're dry, we can start making these into pins. I'm gonna do this 2 different ways because I don't have enough pin backs for all of them. So I attached the pin backs to some of them with super glue, and for the rest, I'll use pins. First, I cut the pins down to the base, then took the plastic disc and separated it from the needle, and sanded down the disc as flat as possible, and super glued it to the back. Now I'm going to coat the back and front of all of these with resin to secure the back and prevent any of the small pieces from breaking off. Lastly, for the stoppers on the homemade pins, I cut off little bits from a hot glue stick. And there it is, all the pins and badges complete. I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I hope you enjoyed this video too. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. See you then! Bye!